Alright, you may notice that we have some new stuff going on here. Like, for instance, there is a beach. And there is all of this stuff behind me, which I'll show you. So I've been having the AI more or less try to improve our roads and to create something else even bigger. And I think it's better if I showed you if we just fly upwards. So here is a layout for our metropolis. As you can see, there are some lines here that I believe the pink lines are for city blocks and the yellow lines are for lots for individual buildings on a city block. I'm going to turn them off. And you can see the other thing that we have here is this entire road network. This is kind of more what I was thinking of when I wanted to build a city. So you can see like there's a regular grid pattern here. There are also some roads that have curvature and things that just like link up in all kinds of interesting ways. I don't think it's totally perfect, but it is all procedure generated. The other thing here is you'll notice like this long snaking freeway. It's got some on-ramps and off-ramps. I don't totally think those off-ramps and on-ramps are correct, but it's got them. I'm going to speed up here so we can move around this large space some more. This is like supposed to be like a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer city. You can see like there's a bunch of on-ramps here. They do not seem to play nice with the road network because they exist as two separate things. So all of the roads that you see here, they are one connected graph. The freeway is a thing that lives over top of the graph. I could not really, at this point, think of a good way to reconcile those things. Like, I thought they should be part of the same graph, but the AI suggested that that might be an actual horrible idea. So I'm kind of leaving it as two separate systems that overlap each other, but there is a big issue like where they connect. On-ramps don't connect quite the streets. Also, these on-ramps are just like, they're crazy skinny. But that is another issue. What is cool is like, there is elevation, although, yeah, okay, there's some issues with this elevation, obviously. Like, literally, it's as high as some of these streetlights. Like, this could be taller. But okay, so it's an elevated freeway, in other words, and we're just kind of zipping along and looking at the roads. But we could probably even do one better here. Let's go back in the first person view. Alright, so a better way to show you these roads might be to just drive them. So if I hit N, you get a little truck. If I use my joystick, I should be able to go forward and backwards, and we should be able to drive around the city. It's a little janky. Let's see if we can get on the freeway. We do have like street lights and also the stoplights. The city simulation would obey the stoplights. I'm not going to. There we go. Gotta build up some speed here and get over those. Just like a real freeway. Alright, come on, here we go. Alright, we're on the freeway. I don't know if this is the right side of the freeway, by the way. The AI has it go in the opposite, has the simulation work in the opposite direction, and I haven't bothered to correct it. I'm not sure what's causing the truck here to like kind of skip like that. Obviously a question for the artificial intelligence to fix. I could have gotten off the ramp there, but let's just keep going and see where this freeway actually goes. There are some signs on the freeway. They don't really say anything because there's no real text engine in game. Plus, I don't really know what it should say at this point, so the signs are just enough to be signs. Those signs are also pretty low. I think we're actually hitting the end of the freeway. So really the freeway is just a giant ribbon that is supposed to cut over the metropolis. And then it just doesn't really have, you know, like if this were a continuous world, like it would keep going. But I told the AI basically to just have it, you know, fade off into the distance. Doesn't need to look like that entirely realistic because we are only in like a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer landmass. You can see like there's a beach now, and there's also mountains. There's some atmospheric haze. The coloring for the grass has changed. Like it used to be a lot brighter, but I asked the AI to tone that down. And yeah, I've got not quite this version, but I do have a version of Metropolis working with buildings. But this is just mostly a demo of the roads. And it's pretty cool that I can just like drive this freeway, even as janky as this truck is and as janky as this freeway construction is. It does seem to be working pretty well. We just went from one side of the city to the next. Here we can slide onto some city streets. Try to avoid these stoplights. But yeah, this is shaping up, I would say, pretty decently. It took a long time to get these roads even looking the way that they are. I'm not using like a sign distance field. It's mostly a thing where it analytically miters the corners together, and so some of the crosswalks and stuff and such are off. You can see like some areas here just don't have lines. I'm not exactly sure how you'd have the AI quite address that yet. Like that you can see is a mess of just curbs. This is also just a mess of roads, but also in real life there are places where there's just like weird intersections like that. Like where are you supposed to go on this road? Like I have no idea. And also the AI doesn't quite know where to put all the stoplights. It just has them hang out. Like look at that lamppost just hanging out right in the middle of the road. So I think like a lot of these more interesting roads are created using an algorithm called space colonization, where it creates a bunch of hotspots and then tries to curve the roads towards those hotspots. So that's kind of like a step it takes first. And then I ask it to take another step, which is to create these more regular grids. So these are just like regular streets, kind of like you would find in a city where you'd have blocks of buildings. So that's what all of these are. And so it's a nice mixture of just like, oh, look at that giant pothole. It's a nice mixture of just like grid areas and then areas where the streets are a lot more irregular. Well, that's an even bigger pothole. In fact, that totally just stopped my truck. We'll have to, oh, now we're really messed up. As you can see, this truck's not exactly made for off-roading. Anyway, that's the end of that demo.